The United States of America is one of the most powerful nations in the world today. But it was not always like this. Hundreds of years ago, this land was home only to Native American tribes. There were no cities, no massive buildings, and no government called the United States. So how did America begin? How did 13 small colonies become the world's greatest superpower? Today, we will explore the complete history of the United States of America, from the very beginning to the modern era. Let's go back in time. Part 1. The Native American Era. Before Europeans arrived, millions of Native Americans lived across this land. They belonged to many different tribes like the Cherokee, the Apache, the Sioux, the Iroquois. They lived by hunting, farming, and fishing. They respected the land and nature and had their own cultures, languages, and traditions. For thousands of years, this was their home. But in the late 1400s and early 1500s, everything began to change. European explorers started to arrive. Spain, France, and England all wanted to control this new land. They came looking for gold, resources, and power. Slowly, the Native American world began to disappear. Part 2. The 13 Colonies. In the year 1607, the first permanent English settlement was built in Jamestown, Virginia. More and more people came from England to America. They wanted religious freedom, better lives, land and opportunity. By the early 1700s, 13 British colonies were built along the East Coast. Life in the colonies was hard. People had to fight hunger, disease, harsh weather, but the colonies grew strong. They started farming, trading, and building towns. However, the British government controlled the colonies and made strict laws. They also placed heavy taxes on the colonists. This made the people very angry. Part 3. The American Revolution. Britain passed many taxes, such as the Stamp Act, the Tea Act, the Sugar Act, but the colonists had no voice in the British government. They noticed something was wrong. They started protesting and said, "No taxation without representation." In 1773, a famous event happened, the Boston Tea Party. Colonists dressed as Native Americans and threw British tea into the ocean. This made Britain even more angry. In 1775, the American Revolutionary War began. The American army was led by a man named George Washington. For 8 long years, the colonists fought against the powerful British army. Finally, on July 4, 1776, the Declaration of Independence was signed. America was now a free country. In 1789, George Washington became the first president of the United States. A new nation was born. Part 4. From small nation to big dream, America began to expand. New states were added. People moved west in search of land and gold. Railroads were built. Cities started growing. Factories appeared. But there was a big problem. Slavery. In the southern states, millions of African slaves were forced to work on farms. They had no freedom and no rights. Northern states wanted slavery to end. Southern states wanted it to continue. This caused the most dangerous war in American history. Part 5. The Civil War. In 1861, America was divided into 2 parts. The North, Union. The South, Confederacy. The bloodiest war in American history started, the Civil War. More than 600,000 people died. The president at that time was Abraham Lincoln. He believed that all people should be free. In 1863, he announced the Emancipation Proclamation, which started the end of slavery. Finally, in 1865, the North won the war. Slavery was officially abolished. America was united again, but the country was deeply wounded. Part 6. America becomes a power. After the Civil War, America entered the Industrial Age. Huge factories were built. Modern cities were developed. Thousands of immigrants arrived from Europe. America became one of the richest countries in the world. Then came World War I in 1914. America joined the war in 1917 and helped the Allies win. Later, in 1939, World War II began. After the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941, America joined the war again. This time, America became a global military power. After World War II ended in 1945, the USA became a superpower. It now had the strongest army, huge economy, global influence. Part 7. Modern America. In the modern era, America led in technology, space exploration, movies and entertainment, business and innovation. America sent humans to the moon in 1969. Big companies like Apple, Google, Microsoft, Tesla were born in the USA. Today, the United States is a global leader. But it also faces challenges like political division, economic struggle, international conflicts. Still, its impact on the world is undeniable. The journey from 13 small colonies to the world's most powerful nation is truly one of the greatest stories in human history. Outro. This was the complete history of the United States of America.